I'm live. Hello. So people should be here in just a few minutes. And I have somebody here. And as soon as I get on here, hello. As soon as I get on here, my face starts to itch. Hello. So we were in the Journey with Burgess Facebook group, and we were talking about all of the things. We were talking about the studying the moon and the moon phases and astrology and tarot and all that good stuff. And we were chatting about that stuff. My daughter did my makeup today, y'all. I never wear this much makeup. Never wear this much makeup. But she wanted to do, she got new makeup. Her birthday is Sunday. My baby will be 27. And so I have on makeup. So anyway, we were talking about all of the things, and I pulled out some of my stuff because I've had a lot of this stuff for a long time. I had another astrology book, but I don't know what happened to it. But I have 3 moon books: Drawing Down the Moon, Moonology, and then there's another moon book. Where's the other moon book? I thought I pulled them all out. Okay. And here's the other moon, Astrology of the Moon. And then I have Tarot and Astrology. And then I have the new astrology, and this, I will tell you how old this stuff is. This I bought brand new, and it was published in 1986. Does that tell you? Yeah, that tell you how long I've been into this stuff. And then I have these 2 books, which is The Secret Language of Relationships. It's actually really great. Your complete personality guide to any relationship with anyone. It actually talks about your, like how you mesh with other people. And then the Element Encyclopedia of Birthdays. But see, this is wrong for me because if you look up my birthday in here, it does say sun sign, and it has Leo or Cancer, which is something that I love about this book. So we are clear on my very first deck was this one, and this was published in 1990. So we've got 1986, 1990. So this is not something new that I've been interested in. I just never took the time to study. I just was always interested. So we were talking about all of, hey. So the books range from age, like I said, from 1986, 85. This, my first tarot deck, 1990. Made it in the nick of time. There you go. So let me look and see when this one, and I'll find the one book so I can show you how long I've had that one. This one was published in 1997. You're doing dishes and listening, but can't type. Okay, cool. So there's another book that I've had since in the early 2000s, and that's What's Her Name, Raven Wolf or whatever, and it's like the solitary book. But I'm not interested. I'm interested in studying Wicca, but I'm not interested in being Wiccan because I don't want to do religion. So I guess it's like Jessica, the story, which she said it's the difference between practice and practice. One in the UK and in Australia, different places, they have an S and a C and they mean different things. So I'm interested in learning as much as I can about all of this stuff. My eyebrows. This looks so weird, y'all. I am so not used to having makeup like this. But but you can't really tell as much except for the eyebrows with the glasses on. But what I really am interested in the most is the study of, I want to learn as much as I can about all of them. I think they all kind of, in a way, go hand in hand. You love the makeup? Thank you. But yeah, my daughter got a bunch of stuff from Ulta. Her birthday's Sunday. She'll be 27. That's my baby. She's Victor's mom. And so I got to spend the afternoon with her and Victor. And she had some pictures, but she hasn't posted them to Facebook. And I need to find out why, because she was supposed to post them. But I've been doing this for a long time now. But I got books I was interested in. I didn't really get a lot of books that were, you feel drawn to Wiccan. Yeah. I feel drawn to, I don't like currently you are into tarot and the moon, but really want to add astrology. I love all of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm Cancer, Leo, Aquarius, or Cancer, Aquarius, Leo, whichever one you do first. So my sun sign is Cancer, my moon sign is Aquarius, and my rising sign is Leo. I don't know which goes first, except for the Cancer, because that's my sun sign. So I'm like super into all of it. And I always have been. But not really necessarily the study of it, just an interest in all of it. So like I said, I've had the tarot, the first tarot deck that I got, I've had forever. And numerology, tarot for writers, and the Artist Way. I have the Artist Way. She's more Catholic. She's Catholic, y'all. I believe Julia Cameron is Catholic, or she was raised Catholic. Yeah, 1990. So my interest started with astrology. And then went to tarot. And then over the past few years, it's been learning more about the moon. You don't like the strict rules in Wicca, but you're not opposed to take some, leave some. Yeah. I don't like the dogma of any religion. I don't like rules. And I don't mean dogma as in necessarily negative dogma. I just don't like. I look back at, and I've been studying Celtic, Scottish, Irish, like old ways, Native American, like medicine women, medicine men, healers, that kind of stuff. And people who were using herbology and people who were tracking the moon and how the harvest and their periods and all that stuff. Those people weren't, that was a way of life for them. That's how the pagan holidays became really big and stuff. So I want all of this spirituality to be a way of life. I'm not interested in the religious part of it. I'm interested in the OW Wiccans that follow their own paths in the Wicca. Yeah. You can be, there's one that is the religion, and then there's one that is the practice, but it's not the religion. Like you can be Wiccan and not be, I don't know what it's called, but it's something. But I like the don't do harm thing because, I mean, that's the golden rule. You cut yourself off. Yeah. You know, but I'm like wowed by a lot of it. And the more that I study really old stuff, like how medicine men did it, not your night, Burgess. That's okay. That's okay. You can make as many time errors as you want to. The more that I study Native Americans, like medicine men and healers and wise women and wise men, and more I study that kind of stuff, the more I feel like that's where and I mean, they were learning and they didn't have the kind of technology we have now. So could you imagine, you know, now with the technology that we have now, the stuff that we know about astrology, astronomy that takes a part in astrology, and all of that. You love Native American myths, legends, your most favorite subject. I don't have very many books on it at all, so you have to make me a list of the books. As of right now, I've done some of my research on things that are available at the library and things that have been available online, and I have to be careful about what I find online. Because my 5th great grandmother was full-blooded Native American, and her father was a chief. And she married a white man back when that was very much illegal. Archetypes and myths, yeah. I find myself I really want to do that Ancestry.com, the DNA thing with the 23andMe and the DNA thing. But I mean, I pretty much know, but shark. Believe it or not, it used to be dolphins. I like whales. I like killer whales. I like sharks, whales, dolphins. I like anything that's a sea creature. I love the sea and the ocean, and, you know, not a big fan of crocodiles and alligators, the rivers and stuff. I like water, so I like water animals. But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling more and more drawn to learning as much as I can about the history of where my people come from. Mermaids. I like mermaids. Mermen. There was a rumor on Mom's side that there was Native American. Have never found a link, though, through your research. Take the DNA test. That's one of the things I want for Christmas is David and I want to do it. I'm hoping if I buy it, if I could get my mom to take the test, and then I could get my aunt who's in Georgia, who's my daddy. My daddy only has 2 siblings left. Everybody else, I could get my Aunt Kat because she carries the exact same DNA that my daddy would have, but my daddy's deceased. So if I could get my mom to take the DNA thing and get my Aunt Kat to take the DNA thing, I would have a perfect match of what and where, you know. You'll never be able to get your granny to do it. You'd have to take it. That way you could find out, you know, I mean, it should show up in yours. But if mine would come up Native American, it would come up Scottish, it would come up Irish, English, Spanish. I don't know, French would be like Europe. So we have French Huguenots, Spanish people, I don't know where, I don't know what Spanish, because that could be anything. There was some Creole, Cajun. I don't know what they call them when I don't know what it was called back then. People that were, we'd call, they weren't called African American then, but when a lot of people that were able to, that migrated over to, like, say, France. Some stayed, but I don't see, I don't know, it's Cajun. I think that's more a Louisiana thing. But something, but I don't know what state. So I really want to take the test, because I know the curly hair comes from the Irish Scottish thing, but it comes from also elsewhere. And my grandfather was pretty olive complected, and he had jet black, really curly hair. So his mother, though, was from Ireland, and she had red hair and green eyes. So I find it, I know a lot more about some of my mom's mother's family, and then I know quite a bit about my daddy's family. Don't know as much about my daddy's mama or my mama's daddy. But the more that I study some of this, especially the Scottish and the Celtic and stuff like that, the more I'm interested in that. So that's one of the things I've been looking at. I've got some books, and I delve into them. I read like a chapter a month in one of those books, and then I read like a chapter a month in each section. So there's no way I could sit down. I mean, I'd have to cut everything out for like a couple of days to read through these books if I were to really want to get through the whole thing, because I don't have time to do everything. Your granny looks all skinny. Well, in my real daddy's family, there were 6 kids. From what I understand, my daddy's mother, they were Irish, Native American, and maybe English. And you could tell with the Native American. But my grandmother had really high cheekbones. Both of my paternal and maternal grandmothers had Native American in their families. But I don't know what in my real daddy's mother's side. And she wouldn't talk about a lot of that. But out of my daddy's siblings, half of them have had real dark hair, real dark eyes. A couple of them were olive complected, and then a couple of them were like in between, like me, where they freckle and they get really pale in the wintertime, but in the summertime they tan, but they still freckle. But the other two out of the 6, 2 out of the 6 had red or strawberry blonde hair and green eyes, which they got from the grandmother. So in my mom's family, most of all of them, though, have blonde hair, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes. You can definitely tell they're more, you can pick up more on the Scottish, Irish, stuff in my mom's family, except for like some of them, you can really see the Native American in the cheekbones and the thickness of their hair. Their hair is really straight. But, okay. But, I mean, it really depends. But the more I do some of the study on all of this, the more I realize I want to learn, and the more I realize I don't know. And I don't want to get too bogged down with books right now, because I have a lot of them. Well, this one isn't. I mean, that's the book that goes to the tarot, but I have a lot of them. You were just about to go to bed. But I have a lot of the books. Like I said, I mean, my first tarot deck I got in 1990. My first astrology book I got in 1986. So I've been doing this, like reading about it and, wanting to learn and stuff for a really long time. Really getting into the study of it, though, the last year. And I feel like I'm nowhere yet. I need to really buckle down. But between writing and art, and YouTube and Patreon, and I've got a blog post that I'm going to edit now because I've got the bulk of it written. I need to make sure everything is okay with it, and I'm going to schedule it to go out in the morning. And it's about NaNoWriMo prep. And there's another one that I am in the middle of, I need to go back to and finish writing, that is about writing a tarot and the hero's journey. And it's also Preptober, but I wanted to do a hello to Preptober kind of thing, NaNoWriMo prep. So, you know, I find it super interesting though, because I told David the other night, because we were talking about our families and doing the DNA test and stuff like that. And I said, all these people that came over, I said, my relatives that came over from Scotland, I want to go to Scotland. I want to move to Scotland. Why did they come over here? I want to go back there. They came over here. I'm like, no, I want to go there. You're just trying to find one book on your subjects that you can resonate with so you can learn and get familiar. Some people don't do as well with books, Jen. There are some things, especially with some of this, that I find videos better with, that I find blog posts better with, podcasts. Some things I don't like, some things don't, I don't know, they don't necessarily resonate with books necessarily, which is really odd because I'm an avid reader, but not everybody's an avid reader. But with certain things I found, especially with things like the moon practice, you know, I mean, I can read it in a book all day long, but I'm also a visual person. I need to kind of see examples of things. I want to know. And then again, you're looking in books and the books tell you different things, like what it says in Moonology versus what it says in some of the Wiccan books versus what it says in other books. I'm like, what? And it's, you know, some people do things differently. So I don't know. I don't know if there is going to be one book, you know, a general guide, you know. I don't know. I think I like the Moonology book so far. I think this other book that I have, I think this book is, I'm only going to be able to really understand once I go through Moonology. I think I'm going to have to read Moonology. I checked out a book that Hilma suggested. Let me look right here real quick. Other bookmarks. Nope. Let's go to Amazon. Lunar Abundance is what it's called, and they actually have a website. She said she really likes Lunar Abundance. That I don't have that one now. It's on my Amazon wish list, and hopefully, if people go on my videos and they go in the description and they go on my link and they buy some stuff, I'm pretty close to being able to have almost enough to get a little bit of money from Amazon and to be able to get a book. But I'm interested in the Lunar Abundance one now. I watched some reviews of Moonology and Lunar Abundance on YouTube, but nobody on YouTube that I can find has done a review of this book. But I really need to learn more before I can give a really good review. Because I don't know enough to know whether this is hey, I don't know enough about this to know whether it's a good book or not. You know, one of the books that's on my read list is this book, because NaNoWriMo's next month, and I'm like, you know, this book I can apply to my writing, and I can learn about astrology. And I like the way Corin Kenner writes. This tarot and astrology book, this is my jam. And I'm thinking these two books might actually be better for me than any of the rest of them on these subjects. I wish she'd write a moon book. I wish she, you know. But I think the more that we can know about ourselves, and the more your favorite cup was used earlier. Oh man. The more that we can study and learn about all different kinds of things, the more we can open our minds. See, there's Snoopy and the Moon and Charlie Brown, the pumpkin patch. I got my Snoopy Halloween mug out. David laughed. He was like, yes, that time of year. So I want to study some of it for me. And then other things like this and the tarot for writing, I'm learning about it. But two, it will only help me get better about my characters and stuff like that, because especially I'm writing a book, a series called Witchy Business. So the more I know about all of this stuff, the better. That's how I actually started researching Wicca, is for the book. I was interested in this stuff, but I wasn't really interested in witchcraft. I was interested in all of this stuff. I didn't really think of this stuff as witchy. I just thought of it as really cool. And it's been around for forever. So I'm and I guess, and some people are considering it new age, but I don't think it's new age all. It's actually old age. Thanks, Heather. This was, I think, a Dollar General, or I think it was a Dollar General mug. So, but I mean, I don't know. That's why, like, for me, I think of myself as witchy, but I don't think of myself as a witch. Like, I'll cleanse my room. I'll cleanse the house, even cleanse me sometimes. And I do things that are sort of ritual, but I'm not really interested in spell work at all. I'm interested in more ritual. They call it New Age. It's been around since before Christianity. Not Wicca, but paganism. And they didn't give themselves that term. That term was put on them. But you've got to figure a lot of that stuff, Native American spirituality and Celtic, and a lot of that Irish and stuff like that, then found some things that you like for yourself. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the Christian holidays are based on pagan holidays. I have a book that I really want to get more into once I get some of this out of the way, that talks really a lot about paganism, and that's on my to read list. I have so many books on the to read list. So right now on my wish list is the Lunar Abundance book. The Hobonichi Avec cousin. There's a book called, let me look on eBay. It's on my list. It's a used book. Because I'm not buying the new ones, because I simply want it for the pictures, to be honest. That's all I want it for. Okay, Earth Pathways Diary and the Wee Moon Diary. Now, I would get them for 2019, but to be honest, I really only want them for the pictures and the information in it. You're not a spell person either. Yule log at the moment. That's cool. We are calling Christmas this year Yule and researching ways to celebrate Yule. My husband loves Christmas, and he'll let me call it something and combine Christmas with Yule. And I could probably do some of that. But with my family and his family and all, we're still going to end up celebrating Christmas. So, but he'd be willing to, as long as I'm not out there trying to go naked in the backyard chanting to the moon, he'd be fine. So, he's really laid back, which is pretty much in a way the same as what we call Christmas. Exactly. You have seen old Wee Moon books. Yeah, Amazon has got some, and I want that for the pictures because I printed out on vellum, but I didn't realize it was going to be so damn light. I'm going to put this is with the old ink cartridges because I wanted something that could go over my other calendar. This is the yearly moon for this year. I want to say, yeah, this is 2018. You haven't seen our neighbors. You have not seen our neighbors, and we don't have a privacy fence. Because believe me, if we had a privacy fence and I had a pool, you see them at the thrift shop all the time. Well, I'm going to have to give you some money for shipping, and you're just going to have to, you know. I realize I talk a lot. That's why I'm on. It's a live chat. I'm supposed to talk. You don't have any privacy where you live. Yeah. So what I was thinking is that here too, I guess. But what I was thinking is that I'm going to concentrate on the Moonology book and then these two books right here. Because I have read the Tarot for Writers book backwards and forwards. And I know pretty much like how to locate stuff in it. He's gone now unless he's back. Your Yule log is a video. Oh, there you go. And they do have that. But they had the logs burning on Netflix last year. And there were several videos last year with that on YouTube. But I'm going to concentrate on these two books and then the Moonology book for the rest of this year. And then I'll get into more depth and detail with more stuff next year. Oh, I already removed him. So if he comes back, I'll just remove him again. I mean, I know I talk a lot, but this is a chat. I'm supposed to talk. I mean, it'd be kind of dull and boring if I sat on here and didn't talk. It would, I mean, you know, hey. So I don't know. I know there are other books out there other than Lunar Abundance, and you know, there's got to be more stuff. I found a free astrology class on YouTube. I will share the link in the conversation once I can get it. I'll share the link to on the Facebook chat we were talking about. You love that I talk a lot. I'll share that link. It starts in a YouTube video, and you can actually click on the screen and it highlights blue and go through the classes. You have some ideas now so you can find info. So that's cool. But if for those of you who are interested in the astrology, I don't know how good it is, but it's free. And if it's correct information, I will look at some of the stuff I'm checking out and see, you know, if it's good info, you know, if the information is correct, then that's what matters. So, but I'll share the link because I'm really interested in that. And sometimes it's really good to watch videos about some of this stuff so that it kind of goes along with your reading. As long as the information is the same information but most importantly, that the information is correct. Nice share. Away free is your second favorite word. Second favorite F word. Yeah. You know, but I mean, like I said, I don't know how good it is. I don't know anything about it, but I was doing some research of my own and I found it and I thought, hey, especially since we were all talking about it, and I was going to share it in the Facebook group, but then I ended up going live. So, but I'm like super stoked because I have a shit ton of books about Wicca and about Scottish witchcraft and Celtic witchcraft, and I even have a book about dream symbols. I have a hedge witch book The Scandinavians who believe in Yule also believe in trolls. Hey, I've seen some trolls. Told David earlier, I said, where are all the forks disappearing to? I said, I'm telling you, there's a gremlin that keeps coming to our house, and the gremlin is stealing our forks. Celtic witchcraft, yes. Yes, definitely Celtic witchcraft. Or Celtic, however we say. People pronounce it differently. It's like tomato and tomato, pecan and pecan. I don't know which is the appropriate, but I say Celtic. So, yeah. And the socks. And the socks. Which ones? Which books, Heather? I don't know. Jen gave me some books. And then, okay. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I wasn't prepared for this, so my stuff is all over the place. This is one of the books. This is the Daily Meditations for the Turning Year. Jen sent me this. I think these are some of those books she got from that lady. These are some books I bought. Oh, crap. There went a book. I'll have to go digging back there and find it. It fell off the shelf. So I have that one by Buckland. I'm not a big fan of Buckland, though. Not a big fan of Buckland. But I do find that interesting. This is Celtic Heritage, Ancient Tradition in Ireland and Wales. I got the Encyclopedia of Celtic Wisdom, a Celtic Shaman's Source Book. I've got Silver Ravenwolf's Hedge Witch Spells, Crafts, and Rituals for Natural Magic. See, if I were going to pick, this would probably be my pick of like hedge witchery, natural magic, that kind of stuff. With the Pagan Path. This is definitely more dry, but I really want to finish reading it. The Secrets of Ancient Witchcraft with the Witch's Tarot. Ireland and Wales, yes. And then there's some other books, but they're way down there in the bottom of the closet. I'll have to get them all out. Once we get some of this stuff and I can move that desk out of here and stuff, then I'll have more access to my books. So when I do that, I'm going to put all my writing stuff back there, and then I can use this cupboard right here for all the witchy goodness, because right now I have a mixture of writing stuff and witchy stuff. So, but I'm really interested in all this stuff. So I want to find a tarot deck and an oracle deck that are more towards Celtic stuff. Irish, Scottish. So that's what my necklace and my earring, these were actually made in Scotland, and my ring that David got me a few years ago. Hedge Witchery. That's the only book I have on Hedge Witchery. I have the Green Witch book. I have two of her books. I have the Grimoire one and then the other one. And I need to get those back out and start reading them. But I got my list of things to read are so long. So do it. Yeah, I hear you. It says so do I. Okay, I thought that was an IT. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do it. DJ Conway is a good one for Celtic. I'll have to look that up. But that's where my big, like, I like stuff about Native American, the shamans and stuff like that. And I like the Celtic stuff. Hedge witchery, natural magic. That's more my cup of coffee. Like I like candles and I'm not a real big fan of incense. Incense gives me a headache. It doesn't matter what the smell is. Sage, unless it's laced with something else, it smells like pot, and it stinks to me. You only have a few books on witchery, period. Yeah. You think you have? Okay, cool. But I find my grandmother used to burn incense all the time. There's two things of incense, and they're kind of more mild, and they don't bother me. They don't bother me. But the rest of them, they give me a headache. I can burn candles all day long. I got a candle back there burning. My favorite candle is, there's a couple of them. This is one of them. This is stress relief, and it's frankincense and myrrh, naturally infused scented candle with essential oil. And I have to say that this is probably one of my very favorite candles. This one is so relaxing. And then they have like another one that's citrus, and I love them. I like that healing candle that Maureen sent me. Your husband says it smells like cigarettes. It smells like pot to me. It stinks. I know I liked it. Jen sent me some that was laced with lavender, and it smelled good. This might have your forks. The NIST. They protect the home, but if they get offended, they play tricks. You have to leave them some nice porridge with butter to save your forks. I have some oatmeal. Your mom loves vanilla candles. My husband likes vanilla. I like apple and cinnamon, and I like the frankincense and myrrh. I like sandalwood. I like anything that smells like coffee. One particular kind of incense. Yeah, this smells very natural to me. I like the natural smelling. I don't like anything perfume-wise, like David's perfume. I mean, David's cologne, my perfume, any of that. I like stuff that smells clean and fresh. Like, I like the smell of flowers, and I like the smell of leaves, and I like the smell of pine trees, and I like the smell of some stuff. But I like stuff like sandalwood and frankincense and myrrh, and, I like vanilla. I like cinnamon. You love the smell of sandalwood. I like the more natural smells. Coffee. I seriously could take a vanilla candle and put some coffee beans around that thing in one of those containers. Man, oh, that smells good. But I like lavender, okay, but lavender's not one of my favorite scents. But I like lavender is calming and relaxing. But one of my very favorite scents, I like eucalyptus. As a matter of fact, Bath and Body Works, their stress relief stuff is one of my favorite smells. One of my very favorite smells is the stress relief stuff from Bath and Body Works. So like, I like the more natural kind of, what I end up buying mostly for the house is the apple cinnamon stuff, or coffee stuff, or citrus stuff. Like, I like the one like this that I get that smells like citrus. I usually burn citrus or vanilla or apple and cinnamon, and stuff like that for the outer part of the house. And then for in here, I usually burn this kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, shoot, Amazon ate your search. So, I mean, we get to a point, though, for those of us who are studying, where I live at, I mean, I'm sure there is a circle. I'm sure there's a coven. But I don't want to get super... I want to learn until I figure out what exactly... I mean, I'm not at a place... I want to learn so I know more before I delve into any kind of group setting like that. One, I'm an introvert. My daughter called me a hermit today. I'm an introvert, but it makes me nervous. You have zero interest in group stuff in person. Yeah. I don't know if, I mean, if I could, I've talked about it before. If I could get a camper and go visit people, that's about as much like me one-on-one or with a couple. I'm going to a NaNoWriMo meetup. It's a prep thing Sunday at Richland Library, which is about an hour away from me. It's the first time I will have ever been to one of these NaNoWriMo things, and I've been doing NaNoWriMo since 2002. And I'm so nervous. One, I don't like driving to Columbia. Two, I would go to the one in Charleston and sign up for them, but that's 2 hours away where they're doing it. And although I'm from there and I know my way around better, but I don't have the gas or the time or the energy to go all the way to Charleston. A lot of Wiccans are loners rather than doing the traditional groups. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah. I've read and listened to some of the stuff that you have to go through to become an actual Wiccan in a group setting. No. I don't like rules anyway, so me and that would not go well. I'm much better off just learning and practicing and doing all different kinds of things that really float my boat, and then the things that don't float my boat, they go overboard. Toss them. It's not my cup of coffee, and keep paddling, until I get to where I feel like, I mean, I'm always going to be learning. I'm a lifelong learner, and there's no way I'm going to be like knowing everything. But until I get to a point where I feel a lot more confident about where I want to focus more of my study. And I think my study will always be more like tarot and astrology and the moon. I also want to eventually get into, I want to grow my own herbs. We want to grow on our own garden this coming spring. We've already been watching YouTube videos together this whole, we waited too late to do it this year, but this whole summer, and then we're about to start watching the videos again so we can figure out how we want to do it in our backyard, because we have critters. You are realizing you're not a reader of books might not be your thing. So watching videos and reading resources and taking notes might be better. Yeah. But I really like dabbling in a bunch of different things until I can focus the reins on more specific things. We wish you could have your own garden. Where you live is impossible. You can do a little, like a windowsill one. There you can grow like your favorite ones. I saw this thing on Pinterest about how this lady started growing tomatoes in her kitchen. She had a thing, and she had like a little handmade trellis she made, and she was growing those little tiny tomatoes right in her kitchen, along with basil and stuff like that. Exactly. Any way you learn is always the right way for you. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. Exactly. I'm a read it, write it, say it, see it kind of person. I have a high IQ, but I am I almost am a hands-on person. You're an introvert, so it's hard for you to attend the writers groups. We think it's helped you in the long run. Yeah. I don't even think we have any writers groups where I live, Heather. You can't even do that here. Your landlady would have a fit. Now you can buy those little tiny pots. We did those when I was in elementary school, these little tiny pots, and you can sit them on a little shelf, and you could actually put them in a little plastic container from the Dollar Tree. They're not planted. They're like if you can have a household plant, like a plant, like that plant that's back there. If you can have a household plant, you can grow some basil. You can grow peppermint. You can grow different things. Look up what you are more interested in. I only want to grow the things that I know we're going to consume. So I'm not going to, we're going to grow bell peppers, and we're going to go bell peppers, squash, zucchini, tomatoes. There's like a few things like that. And now you're going to be on panels at a conference. Yes. See, I know you're doing some kind of thing. You're doing the hero's journey at that conference. But It's like with writing. I just got finished watching a video, half of a video, from somebody in the writing community who was talking about how there are certain people out there in the writing community and AuthorTube who are saying that this way, that you have to be this kind of productive in order to be a proper author, or you have to have this, or you have to outline this, or, you know, whatever. And you started a container garden in your big living room window, worked for a while until you lost interest. Herbs are always good for both cooking and witchery. See, that's what I want to do. Like in the kitchen, I use a shit ton of basil. I use a rosemary like crazy, garlic, cinnamon. Yeah, exactly. But that's what she was talking about, how you can't tell anybody else how to write or what their productivity level should be. I really resonated with what she was saying, some of it, but I got bored after a while and quit watching. You just want to understand, but trying to find your learning style has been difficult. I love basil, dill, rosemary, oregano, garlic. Oh my God, I love some garlic. Oh my God, I love some garlic. Onions. There's I like using sea salt. I haven't tried the pink Himalayan sea salt yet. You could live off garlic. I could live off garlic, onions, and bell peppers and tomatoes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I make a salad, literally make my own salad, a little bowl of salad, and I use garlic, to the little red cherry tomatoes, cucumbers. I put a little bit of basil, a little tiny bit of dill, onion, and then sometimes I'll cut up some bell pepper in it. Now, if I'm cooking it, that's raw. Now, if I'm cooking it, bell pepper and onions. I don't care if it's just plain green bell peppers or if it's all the colors of the rainbow of bell peppers. But I love me some garlic and some onions and some bell peppers cooked. So that I want bell peppers in my garden. I'm okay with buying the onions, but I want bell peppers in my garden. But like, I don't know enough about all of the herbs yet to know other than the ones that I actually use for cooking. So that's, you know, I'm thinking I make a list, and then I have a couple of books that have enough stuff in it, like the Kitchen Witchery, the Hedge Witch book has some stuff in it. A couple of the other ones do. So I could kind of figure out what kind of herbs I want to grow, because if I'm going to grow herbs, I probably need to grow them in the house. You did a self-test on learning styles in college class. You're everything, but mostly visual, then kinesthetic, and then everything else. Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I'm the kinesthetic. I have such a hard time saying that. And then visual and everything else. Like I said, I'm a read it, write it, hear it, say it, see it person. And if I can see it and I can see how it's done, like that's why I had so many problems learning how to edit videos, because you can read and you can watch some of the videos, but if they don't verbatim show you what you're doing, like where it makes sense to me, it doesn't matter how much I read it. There are certain things I have to see. I literally have to see how you do it, you know, and I have to be doing it myself. So that's my goal for next year. I want to go more and more organic. I want to be more in tune with nature. Go to the Internet Archive and look up the book Natural Witch and look up Ellen Dugan. All right, I'm getting a pen. Where's my pen? Where's my notebook? Thank you. Because that's where I'm like that. That's where where I truly think I'm going to end up going more and more and more towards. I want to live a healthier, more holistic, more organic, more in tune with nature. I can go outside literally if I'm by myself and there's nobody around. If the kids aren't in the backyard next door yelling and screaming, yes, email me a list, please. If the neighbors over there and their teenage boys aren't running rampant all through all the yards and throwing, the balls because of my anxiety, I can go right in my backyard. I can sit right on that picnic table, or I can go take a walk around my house or in my neighborhood if things aren't noisy. If it's something other than birds and stuff, I love the birds, but I can go in my yard and my anxiety level and my stress level, all of that just dissipate. The moment that I go outside when it's calm and you just got the sounds in nature, my anxiety level it's like meditation for me. And all it takes is some sunshine on my face, the air, the breeze, the smell of trees and leaves and grass and flowers. It does that to me. Now, art does that for me and writing does that for me. But because I do art and writing and stuff, I'm doing all this, I'm talking about it on a regular basis. Sometimes I need a break from all of this stuff. I'll get stressed out because I get really busy and super busy, and I need to unplug. I need to unplug altogether from social media, from the phone, from the house, from TV, and I need to seriously unplug. And that read a couple of books of hers when you were getting started with your research. Just wanted to say that I love this chat with everyone. Made my Friday night so much better. Yeah, Scott. I have a couple of books by Scott Cunningham. Your writing does it for you. You can find his herbalism books and his Wicked in the Kitchen. I'll have to look those up. You sure woke up. You were stressed about Kyle today, but now you feel a lot better. Yeah, that's good, Heather. The beach does that for you, but now you're starting to just get into your trees. I don't have a beach nearby. I grew up on the beach. The beach used to do that for me. Now I have to take my nature where I can get it. So, I told David, not this tax time, next tax time, or after that. Once we get the cars fixed and we get the heating and air in the house, I want a pool. I get my dad's truck fixed. He was like, well, what about your writing cave? I said, my writing cave can wait. I want a pool. I want a pool. I don't have to have an in-ground pool. I can have an above-ground pool, and it doesn't have to be one of those huge fancy things. It needs to be at least 4 foot deep, though. So, and he's like, okay. So, I figured 2-3 years, that's my goal. I want to have a pool while I'm still young enough to enjoy all this stuff with Victor, So he's like, you're willing to give up the writing cave for a pool? I said, yes. Yes. Don't always have a beach access, but living among trees. Yeah, I love the trees. I love going out. See, I grew up outside too. I was on my bike. I had a basket on my bike and I had a backpack, and I used to throw my book and my snack and my drink in my backpack, throw my backpack in my basket on my bike, and I was gone. And I'd find places and I would sit and read, and I'd have me a snack, and then I'd go to a different place. Like if that place got busy or whatever, I was always outside. If I wasn't out, when I was at my grandmother's, she had a weeping willow tree, and I would put my jacket down right on the ground, sit right underneath that weeping willow tree, and I'd be reading my book. They'd all be looking for me, and my grandmother's like, she's under the tree. You have been having some anxiety past few days, not sure what set it off, but your writing and delving into research for future stories help distract you. Now, see, writing and researching and art and anything creative, DIY projects and stuff, those are really good distractions. Distraction is good, especially if it's productive distraction. So when your mom was yeah. You had a plastic basket on your bike. You played with your older brother outside all day. Yeah, my brother was younger than me, and he used to follow me around everywhere. And we always had cousins, and I'm older. So I always had, and if I didn't go out by myself, then I ended up babysitting. So I used to, I was a loner even as a kid. I don't mind my own company. I don't bore myself. I never bore myself. I always find something interesting to do. You know, I can read, I can draw, I can write, I can read, I can draw, I can write, I can do DIY projects. When I start getting really bad anxiety, though, like really bad, I need to channel the anxiety and the energy into something. So I have to do something more physical. So I'm either doing a DIY project, or I'm cleaning and organizing, or painting furniture, or something like that. So you can kind of tell, you know, because the more stuff like that I do, the more I'm working off my anxiety. If my anxiety gets real bad, it will make the depression worse. And when I get really depressed, it's not good. I try really hard to keep my anxiety kind of at bay, so that the depression, because they feed off each other. And that, yeah, not good. So that's why I am as creative as I am, and why I kind of stay as busy as I do, because that helps keep me in more harmony with everything, you know, kind of balanced. And I think that the more natural we eat, I won't go vegan. I like steak and chicken, and we don't eat very much red meat at all because of David. But I stay kind of borderline anemic, so every now and again I eat red meat. But I love seafood, and I like chicken, but I only like certain kinds of stuff. Like I'm really picky now that David got Crohn's and I started doing research. So yeah. You love shrimp. My grandson loves shrimp. I love me some shrimp. The only seafood I'm not real crazy about, what is I don't care for calamari. I like gator. I had alligator in Florida. Oh my God, it tasted so good. I've had frog legs. Frog legs are good, but I don't like I don't like snails. I don't want anything to do with snails. But I love me some shrimp. And I love Alaskan snow crab legs. Crab legs, crabs, crab legs. Yes. It's time for me and David to very soon go to Charleston so I can go to a seafood restaurant that has fresh seafood. Your mom doesn't like calamari. Yeah. Not a fan. My mom was an avid reader when I was growing up, and now my mom can't read because she's legally blind. She's an eye disease. And she told us what she wanted. She wanted it for Mother's Day, and I couldn't find it. So for the anniversary of for my dad's birthday, David and I got her the Bible. It's an audio Bible, and you can press the little buttons. It's like seen on TV. They had it on TV. And we got that for my mom. So my mom can, because she can't read anymore. And I told her, I said, Mom, if you're interested in audiobooks, I could see about getting, we can start seeing about getting you some audiobooks. As a kid, you were only allowed 2 hours of TV a day. You expected to go outside for that same span of time, and books were your best friends. My aunt used to tell me no red meat was bad for those of us with, you are spoiled fresh crab all season. You lived in New Orleans, we eat shrimp a lot. Your mom learned how to make a lot of stuff. I went to New Orleans. My best friend, Sandy, she was in the Air Force. She is from a little tiny town. Well, her dad retired Army, because they're Puerto Rican. Retired Army in a little tiny town in Louisiana. With talents. Anger tends to go up with how much red meat you eat. Well, what? We don't eat it hardly ever. When I start feeling kind of, usually I know it's usually my iron levels are low. But right now, what I'm worried about, my doctor's appointment is Monday. My daughter's like, Mom, that sounds like high blood pressure or heart disease. like my mother-in-law and I were talking, and I'm like, I'm really hoping it's like carpal tunnel or circulation issues, or because I'm doing my hands so much more now than I used to. You cut off what you were typing. That's okay. But I'm losing circulation in my hands. My hands are going numb and tingly really bad. Like if I talk on the phone or when I'm drawing, you'll see me in some of my videos. People on Patreon will see it. I'm doing this because they get numb. It's like when your feet fall asleep, only it's not my feet, it's my hands. And I can actually doing something. So I don't know if that's circulation, but the hands are swelling. I can't wear my wedding set. This wedding set is older than I am. This was the one that my real daddy gave my mom, and that's normally what I wear. This one is one that David gave me, and I switch them around sometimes, but I've got to get it resized so I can wear them both. But neuropathy. See, I thought neuropathy was for people who are diabetic. I don't think I've never had diabetes. I don't think I have diabetes, but I don't know. But my hands and feet are swelling. I am having hot flashes. People call it night sweats. Well, mine is during the day. It's at night. You can see me. I'm sweating right now. Mine's all the time. And granted, I live in South Carolina, and it is humid and hot here. But it can be usually I am cold natured. David is the hot natured. And I'm constantly telling him, it's hot in here. It's hot. It's hot. He's like, baby, it's cold. The air conditioner. I'm like, it's hot. He's like, it's not hot in here. And I'm pouring sweat. I have been taking showers in the morning and at night. And when I don't, like if I don't take a shower in the morning and at night, baby wipes have become, and actually I have some right here, because I'm taking baby wipes and pulling up underneath my hair and wiping my neck and my shoulders off. Your mom has neuropathy in her feet. Yeah, most people who have neuropathy have it in their feet, and they usually have it like it's one of those things that comes with diabetes. Now, somebody said it could be carpal tunnel syndrome. I'm like, I think carpal tunnel syndrome was where they hurt. So I don't know, but I know it's something wrong because I am normally cold natured. My hand's been going numb for a while, and that could be the pinched nerve back here that started all the shoulder problems, because I got rid of the shoulder problems. I went through physical therapy, but it never got rid of the pinched nerve. I don't know, but I got to do something. Because I'm miserable. I am miserable. I have went through so much deodorant and baby powder, and I got a little comfort zone fan, little comfort thyroid. That's one of the things I researched about this. I've got this little fan sitting on top of my printer right over here. You can't see it. It's right over here. Y'all can see. Okay. See the little fan? Y'all can see the mess that's my room right now with all the books piled on top of my table. Hyperthyroid. There's a couple of different thyroid things they were talking about. So I don't know. So I'm going to the family doctor, my regular general practitioner doctor, and I'm going to set up through him so that our insurance will do it. I've got to actually set up a mammogram, got to set up my OBGYN appointment. I also need to, and that way, other than those, my OBGYN doctor, I'm going to this doctor first. Then I'm going to get the OBGYN, then so I can get the mammogram and Crohn's hood. Yeah, see, I'm hoping it's some kind of circulation problem. Regular, maybe I'm, what is it called? Edema. I'm retaining water. And I can drink a ton of water and then still, I don't drink anything but water, green tea, juice, and coffee. And I'm not getting rid of coffee because I don't take anything for the ADHD. Coffee is my ADHD medicine. I'm not getting on any of the ADHD medicines. It could be something simple. I think it's menopause, and I think there's some kind of other issue. I think I'm having two issues, and I think the reason, and I think that I'm having two. Your husband just had surgery in his neck. He had a pinched nerve in his neck and a herniated disc. Yeah, I think the pinched nerve is actually right in here, and it caused neck, shoulder issues, and then it was pinching it, and then I kept overdoing, and then I ended up with really big problems with my rotator cuffs, and I almost had to have surgery. I couldn't raise either one of my arms all the way up at all. You feel the same way about coffee? Yeah, I'm not taking what you call it that people take for ADHD, Adderall, and there's Ritalin, and there's a couple other things. I've taken Adderall before, taken quite a few of those. They had me on Ativan. They've had me on Seroquel for anxiety. They've had me on Zoloft, Paxil, Lamictal, all kinds of stuff. Neurontin. Hello. And it's just not, I don't like the after effects of that medicine. So I would rather find cognitive behavioral therapy means and then more natural ways. So right now my coffee is actually not really so much coffee as it's more like hot cocoa with a tiny bit of coffee in it right now, because it is late at night. And so this is more like some hot cocoa and a tiny bit of coffee that was left over. So it's like that much coffee, and then the rest of it's hot cocoa. I don't like taking any of the meds. Some of the medicines, they made me feel like a zombie. They made me feel like a zombie. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. So that's why I'm trying to improve my diet. Meditation can help with some. Yeah. Meditation is very hard when you have ADHD, though. Tea and coffee for you. You won't take meds unless it's, yeah. But I told David last year, see, that we just passed the 1-year anniversary of my dad's death. And when I went through all of that stuff with my dad dying and my mom being in ICU and all, I told David, I said, if we ever go through another funeral, if one of our parents, if my mom or one of your parents goes, or somebody that's real close, you need to go ahead and take me to the doctor and get me some anxiety medicine so I can get through it. Valium, something, just for while we're going through that, because I can't do that. Boy, that, ooh. Yeah. Something. Something that's not addictive either, because I want to be able to get off of it when I want to get off of it. So I just, I won't go through anything major like that again without some anxiety medicine, because as much as I can deal with things on a regular basis, not the same, but you have fibromyalgia, and much better with natural and nutrition changes. I have fibromyalgia, but this is a lot of this stuff is new, that the hand swelling and the sweats and I feel like my blood pressure's high, and my blood pressure's always been lower. Like what your norm is, mine's always a little bit lower. So if I've got high blood pressure or heart disease, if I've got high blood pressure and it feels like high blood pressure, like it. So anyway, I'm going to the doctor Monday, and we're going to start figuring out what it is that's wrong with me, because I can't walk around in boxer shorts and a tank top all the time. I can't, not at 51, not until I start doing marathons, and and then I seriously don't think people on YouTube would want to. Well, some people on YouTube would want to, but I don't want to. So, and I don't, I don't really want to go to the grocery store and everything with tank top on and shorts like that. But I'm so hot. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. And then the hotter I am and the more humid it is, the worse I swell and the more I sweat. And then it just makes me even more miserable. So, but you can tell how puffy, and you can see, like you can see it. Like, So I don't know. I don't know. But y'all, I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I got 8 of y'all. I'm so cool. This was so much fun. So what do you do on a Friday night? I started doing some planning. I was trying to figure out what I'm doing for next week. And I actually got some videos to do for tomorrow. And yeah. So I'm pretty excited. Things are going better. And I decided, I mean, I might work on some Inktober stuff, but I've actually been doing really well with the illustrate your day, draw my stuff, you know. I've been doing really good with that. So if I don't do the prompts, I'm not worried about it because I've actually been inking every day. I have been inking every day. So for the most part, I skipped a couple of days. Writing, YouTube, searching, raid Twitter. Usually Friday night for me is catching up on some TV shows and journaling or planning while I catch up on TV shows. David fell asleep and I told him, I said, I need to do some YouTube stuff. And he was like, okay. And since Maria did my makeup, I mean, I don't ever, you know, that's a lot of. Oh, your video finished uploading a little while ago. There you go. So yeah, I mean, that's usually what I'm doing. So I've just been kind of trying to get into a better routine of everything, especially now that I'm really figuring out the editing of the video stuff. There's nothing ever on anymore on TV Friday nights. I was watching Winona Earp. And I don't even know what else comes on. I think I like the new show Manifest. I don't even know what nights these come on, y'all, because I watch stuff on Hulu. I think Monday night, though, it might be Manifest. I like the new show Manifest. Van Helsing is back on. Friday's your paranormal veg night and right while you watch. Yeah. I like Manifest, 911, Winona Earp, Van Helsing. We missed the Supernatural. We're going to be watching that tomorrow. We're also going grocery shopping tomorrow. And then my husband's going to go to his parents' house to watch the football game. Our local college football game. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Because I was really into Blind Spot, but now that Jane's got her other memory back, her not nice person memory, I don't even want to watch it anymore. But I like the more. I wish we had more. What was the show? It was a paranormal show. Ghost something. There were quite a few. Manifest is good. Manifest has some kind of supernatural. No. The guy had a psychic ability, and he could see ghosts. And the ghosts would actually take over people's bodies and make people. The ghosts were actually killing people in this. And he could see them. And people didn't believe that he could really see ghosts. You know, his mom was like a psychic, and she left the town. I'm trying to think of what the name of the movie. Ghost, maybe. He was a young guy, and he looked kind of like the guy that was in the Netflix series, but it wasn't him. But he looked sort of kind of like the guy that was in the Netflix series with the same guy that's now playing in Stephen King's show that's on Hulu. And I'm watching that, and I'm loving that. And I like Stranger Things. The Fridays Haunted. Live by Ghost Asylum guys. I'll have to look at that one. Fight werewolves with kung fu. There you go. But I like some of those shows. There's another show, but this Manifest almost has a sort of supernatural, paranormal feel to it. It is, Dave and I are debating on whether it's a black hole or whether it's time travel or whether it's aliens. So, I don't know. Netflix and Hulu just went up. They just started taxing us. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody, Ipsy and Netflix and Hulu are all taxing, thinking of ghost stories. I don't know. Let's see. Show ghost TV show. No, wrong. I know what I'll do. I'll just go to Hulu, and it's in my show thing. Give me 1 second. Do I remember the station it was on? Never heard of Tube Girl. Okay. My stuff. The Purge I watched, and it is like way out there. Castle Rock is Hulu's show. That's the Stephen King one. I liked Superstition with Mario Van Peebles and Ghost Wars. Ghost Wars. It's called Ghost Wars. Yeah, it's called Ghost Wars. Okay. Ghost Wars is the name of that show. And then there's Dave. I started watching The Purge, but that's a little out there. I don't know. I watched the first episode because David's been working crazy hours lately, so I'm gonna rewatch the first episode with him, and we'll see if we like it. I try not to do a whole lot of TV because if I get too into it, then I could be writing. Like I like watching TV and journaling and planning. I don't like super scary stuff either. I like paranormal stuff, but I don't like super scary stuff. There was one of the paranormal things. Was it The Fourth Kind? I don't know. It was one of those. And that was actually really... I like suspense movies and shows. I'm more of a suspense person than a horror. I don't like horror. I like suspense. Like, so I like a scary movie if it's suspenseful I like that, but I don't like horror. But I love supernatural and paranormal. So I like the suspense stuff. Yeah, not like everybody loves all those Halloween movies and the Saw movies and that kind of stuff. Not a fan. So, y'all, I've been on here almost an hour and a half. So it's time for me to go. I can't sit in this chair for too long like that because it cuts off the circulation. Like I said, I'm doing this. I'm having. Okay. Y'all just missed the porn dude. Yeah, it's time to go because it's getting late and the crazies are going to come out. So, y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Remove. So, I'll see y'all later. Yeah, I just had to hide again. So, yeah, it's because it's Friday and it's late. So, bye, y'all. I'll see y'all again soon. And I'll get the link and put it in the group for the astrology class. Yeah. Not a full moon yet, but good night, y'all.